All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another installment, yet again, of the Bald Chef of Bergamo. It's a beautiful, beautiful October afternoon. Nice, mild, little bit of fresco fuori. Yeah, but beautiful, clear sky. And today we're celebrating my birthday. Yes, as I have grown another year older, I'm now at that age of the ultimate question. The life, the universe, and everything. That's how old I am, yes. And to celebrate my birthday, I decided that I would make one of my favorite recipes of all time, Ossobuco. And we'll accompany it with some risotto alla Milanese. So, some risotto, saffron risotto with Ossobuco. So let me go inside and let's start searing up the ossobuchi. And then we'll get the braised sauce going and we'll show you how to do that and everything will be wonderful. Buon appetito tutto. Buon compleanno, Brian O'Bright. Ciao. So I've got some ossobuchi here. And I put some flour on them, each side, just a light dusting. A little bit of salt and pepper, just a skosh, to help with the searing, release some of the flavors into the pan. And I'll later deglaze that pan. I got my mirepoix. Couple stalks of celery, 4 carrots, some chopped diced onions. Got some tomato paste, and some white cooking wine. Again, you don't want anything fancy when you cook. Just some cheap white wine or red wine will do, but for this recipe we're going to have some white wine. Then of course we'll have some Barolo when we actually partake and enjoy our ossobuco. So leave the good wine for drinking, leave this average box wine, leftover wine for cooking. So what I'm going to do is I've got some oil in a pan, in my favorite pan. It's warming up, and then I'm going to put the ossobuchi inside and let them sear, and I want them to get scorched, seared very nicely, almost burnt. Almost burnt. Again, you want to get all that charred flavor, put it into the pan, which you'll later deglaze with the vegetables and wine, and you can get all that flavor. So that's what we're going to do. We'll start searing this meat. So I got a couple tablespoons of olive oil in my favorite pan, and I'm searing up the ossobuchi. And I'll show you when these get nice and seared. Again, we're not trying to cook all the way through, we're just searing, because when we braise it in the sauce over 2 hours, they'll cook through and through. But right now we just want to sear and release that flavor into the pan. So I've seared ossobuchi, and as you can see, my Le Creuset pot is nice and crispy and crusty. And now I'm going to add the mirepoix, the vegetables, the braising vegetables on top, and we'll, basically that'll help. There's a lot of liquid in those onions and seitan and the celery there, and they'll release and help deglaze. Then I'll add a little tomato paste as well, and I'll show you how that is. So I'm going to put the vegetables in and mix that, have it cook down for about 5 minutes. Let's see what that looks like as it is. Okay, so I've been sautéing these vegetables, and as you can see, they've deglazed that pan nicely. I'm going to add my tomato paste right here to the center of this pot, and it's going to cook nicely. Got a nice dark red flavor baked in to get the last of that deglazing. I'm going to put all this, it's about 150 grams of tomato paste in there, and then I'll add about half a cup to 3/4 of a cup of white wine, and then 2 cups of chicken stock. And let me get this going with the tomato paste and deglazing with the white wine, and then we'll see what it looks like with everything in it. Okay. So again, I put about 3/4 of a cup of white wine to deglaze, and then I've added 2 cups of chicken broth. Again, I don't want to put beef broth in there because it's a little too strong, and I don't want to overpower all the veal flavor that I've gotten from the searing, as well as the braised sauce, it's going to cook over a few hours. So I don't want to overpower it with the beef broth. I want to use chicken broth. So I recently added just some fresh garlic, 3 cloves of garlic. And as you can see, that braised sauce is starting to come up to temperature nicely. I'm going to start layering in my ossobuchi. and then I'll make certain they're covered. I'll show you how that is. Then we're going to add a little bit of thyme, literally just a pinch of thyme, and then we're going to bake it in the oven covered for an hour at about 160, 170 degrees C, and then 2 hours at 150 C. And those will be braised perfectly. They'll fall right off the bone, and you'll see that. But let me put the ossobuco in, and let me show you how you layer them in there. So I've got my ossobuco in the pot, and I've put them in there. Make certain you got enough liquid to cover, enough braised sauce to cover all your ossobuco. And you want to put the vegetables on top, as you can see here, to kind of help keep the meat moist, as well as let those flavors sink down into the ossobuco. If you recall, I had various sizes ossobuco. I just didn't have a bunch of large ones. I had a couple medium size and a few small size. And just want to get some of that vegetable on top of that ossobuco. You want to do that so you can fit all your ossobuco into the pot, squeeze them in there. If they're all big, you're gonna take up too much space, and you're not gonna fill in the corners, the gaps. So think about that. Now again, I've added a little pinch of thyme, and I put the fresh garlic in just there right before I added the ossobuco. I'm going to cover this, and again, I'll put it in the oven, 160 to 170 for about an hour. Then I'm going to lower the temperature about 150 and cook it for another 2 hours. And then we'll see where we are at that point, but they'll be perfect, falling right off the bone. The flavors will be great. We'll come back in a bit, and we'll start preparing the risotto alla milanese. So I got about a half hour, 25 minutes to go in the braise. I took it out of the oven just to check on it. And one thing I want to do right now is this I can leave this in the oven for another 25 minutes, half hour. It's good to go, ready to eat. One thing I wanted to show people is you can add a little bit of peas. Just get a little more green and vegetables into your braised sauce. You don't want to put them in at the beginning because they'll just be destroyed and demolished in the braising aspect. So put them in now. And again, these are frozen. Just shove them in there. They'll be fine. They'll cook in this last 30 minutes with this braised sauce. Get them into the sauce. You don't need to add a lot, just a little bit to add a little more color. And get some more veggies into your diet. It's always a good thing. We want to eat healthy on the Bald Chef of Bergamo too, every now and again. I'm going to put it back in the oven, cover it, put it back in the oven, 30 minutes. We're done. Plate it with the risotto, and we're eating. So here we have our finished article. We have the ossobuco here, and as you can see, the bones are falling right out of the veal. So you plate it up with your nice risotto milanese. Nice and thick risotto. It's nice having a guest chef teach you her recipes. Of course, we don't understand the quantities because everything's eyeballed. I'll have to back calculate that for everybody. But the risotto with ossobuco is ready to go. It's time to eat. Buon appetito.